Jim here from K2 Concepts, shooting a video on activator and technique. We had a couple of questions last week, how to lay down activator on larger pieces of film, and it's a good question. A lot of it, is your technique, and what we're going to do is try to demonstrate that today. Alright, so we're just going to call this Technique 101. Anyhow, the basis of everything that whether I teach you or anybody else is going to teach you is your gun setup. Your gun setup has to be correct. If your gun setup is not correct, then nothing you do is going to be consistent. You're going to have high-low spots, you're going to have dry, it's just like shooting paint or clear. So your gun setup has to be correct. If your gun setup is incorrect, or if you're unsure, go back, review my videos on gun setup. JJ from One Hit Wonder, Reby and Trevor from Brutal Hydrographics also shot a video. So review those videos. Go on the forum, k2forums.com. There's plenty of threads on how to set up your gun. So that's the first thing. Your gun has to be set up correctly. Second of all is your technique. Now this requires you guys to be a little bit better, because it's not all about just the gun, it's about how good you are at what you do. So that's where technique comes in. So the basis of everything is your gun setup. The second half of the triangle, or the third, is your technique. Okay, so when you call me up, when you have problems, we need to define what a pass is. One time across the film is a pass. It doesn't matter how big it is. So if you're here and you're saying that's one pass, okay? If you call me up or you ask on the forum, hey, I did one pass or two passes. Two passes is one time across, one time back. It's really easy. So that's one pass, that's two passes, okay? This is not one pass. This is not two passes. Every time the gun goes across the film is a single pass. That's what we need to know to help you guys diagnose what your problems are. Alright? So, one pass, two passes. I think we're over that. Now we're going to get into the tic-tac-toe pattern. Okay? A lot of guys have a question on what do we mean by tic-tac-toe. Basically, this is an old painter's trick. If you're painting a big panel, you're painting a door, you come this way. So we're starting in here, coming across, and then we're going to come back and we're going to feather it in. That's kind of a tic-tac-toe. If we were to draw a tic-tac-toe, that's what it looked like. So this is what happens. Come in, back, and then you're going to want to come in this way and kind of fill it in. That's what happens, when you're painting a door. That's what's going to fill in your dry spots. It doesn't matter if it's a 1/8 or 1/4. Don't get hung up on the tip size. Most of the problems that we see are technique. If I notice a guy's going too slow, I'm going to recommend a 1/8, because it's not his natural ability. I can't correct that. I'm not there. I'm not standing beside you guys. I can't push you guys faster. So what's going to happen is I'm going to say, look, it doesn't matter what we're doing. You're under activating. You need to jump up, lay more down, whatever it is. So go to a 1/8. Guys that are tendency to overactivate, they're dragging a little bit. That's fine. Let's just drop down. What we're doing is we're trying to fill in the gaps, and it's easier to fill in something that's fixed, like a 1/4 or 1/8, than it is to try to get you guys to adjust your physical. That's the toughest, one of the toughest to adjust. Okay, so now we get into bigger films. Alright, if you're going to get into larger patterns, and this is the big question, and I see a lot of this is what happens when you guys start to get into larger patterns. You start to underactivate. That's because you're using the same technique. You have to adjust your technique. So when you get into larger patterns, the big thing, especially when you get into like carbon fibers and stuff like that tend to S, you know, some of your films you start pushing them around. And you saw a lot of my videos when we first started out, we were activating from the back side of the tank out here, and then we were coming in. What we realized was when we started out the back side, that's activated, and then we're using air, and air is starting to push around the pattern. So we started to see a little bit S-ing in the pattern. The reality is, if you start out from here, from your stomach out, what happens is your gun, your natural ability of how you hold the gun is gonna, you know, the air is gonna be out here. So your activator pattern is here. It's fluid, it's liquid, it's on the water, but it's not being pushed around. So if you're gonna activate bigger patterns, what you want to do is start from you and then work your way out. So we'll demonstrate that real quick. Again, I'm not going to lay down the activator, but you're going to come in this way and then work your way out. Okay? Now if you want to, at this point, you can come in, you can square up a little bit better than try and square up out here. So again, if you start from here and then work your way out, you can come in this way and get a little bit more square to the surface and not have as much distortion in your pattern. Okay, now we start to get into fine-tuning your technique. So larger patterns work from you out. So you want to come in this way, work your way out, and then come in and fill in the gaps. Okay, and you're going to see it's like shooting paint, it's like shooting clear. You're going to see dry spots, and you're going to have to fill them in. How do you do it? That's all on you. That's your technique. So again, that is back and forth. It's as many as your strokes that you guys are doing. If you're going to large patterns, work from yourself out. You'll notice less distortion, but you're going to have to fill in the gaps too. Okay, that's it for this one. Hope you guys are having a good day dipping. Join us in Ohio. We're going to Ohio September 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 2015. If you can, get on that. It's going to be a really good, it's already filling up. We've got a lot of really neat things to offer you guys. We definitely modified our training based on what we've done for you guys in the past. You've got JJ from One Hit Wonder. You got Trevor and Reby from Brutal Hydrographics. You have Brent from Kansas Hydrographics. Jake from PA Hydro is going to be there. Ken from NEW Hydrographics over in Wisconsin has volunteered to come down. That's allowed us to open it up a little bit more. So you're going to see probably a little more people than usual. We'll probably keep this going for a while. Dave from Super Chrome is going to be there. So that's just what we have in mind for you guys right now. We're trying to get you guys a nice little meet and greet the night before. We're working on hotel. We've already got that nailed down, so you guys are going to be paying about 109 bucks a night. And man, I don't know what else you guys want. So again, Activator 101. That's it for this one. I hope you guys are having a good day dipping. Email us at k2forums@gmail.com. If you need anything, Activator guns, go to k2shoponline.com. And we hope you're having a good day dipping. We'll talk to you later.